everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So this morning I posted a question tag and a lot of you asked me questions regarding intermittent fasting. There is a lot of repetition, but I'm just going to quickly go through the questions that I see a lot, and there is so much of myth around this. Fasting is one of the most simplest and easiest things, and I've already touched upon this in my last video, so I'll put its link in the description box below and you can go and have a look. But otherwise, I'm just quickly going to begin with the first question that I see, and that is, can liquids be had in the fasting window? Now understand, I've already explained this, but very quickly, there is black fast, there is dry fast, and there is liquid fast. So let's say you have warm water, that would be liquid fasting. You are no longer into dry fast because dry fast is without food and water. But when we just speak about liquid fasting, the only allowed liquid that I would give you is lukewarm water or warm water. Even putting lemon, putting apple cider vinegar, having kokum sharbat, having panakka, having mint basil water, having some smoothie, it's no longer a fast, okay? Anything that stimulates the digestive system breaks your fast. So your lemon stimulates the digestive system, so that breaks your fast. The same is with apple cider vinegar. So anything that is going to stimulate the digestive system is going to put you out of fasting, which doesn't mean that it won't work, but you are no longer fasting, okay? Any food suggestions for beginning of eating period? I always suggest that start with something that is really light. So if you look at people who are doing Ramzan, they would always have like dates and let's say a piece of fruit or a good quality of fat or nuts and seeds, but something that is very gentle on the stomach would be a good place, okay? Is it okay to drink matcha tea during the fast? You can have your matcha tea, but you are not fasting anymore. Is it okay to follow one meal a day pattern? So I heard this a lot, and for anyone who doesn't know, this is also abbreviated as OMAD, and that is just eating one meal in a day. Now see, I am not a fan. You need to look into a lot of things when it comes to OMAD. I'm sure it works for some people, no offense, but how do you think that you get all of the nutrition and nourishment that the body needs and the cell needs on a daily basis? And if you're just eating one meal in a day, how do you get the plethora of nutrients if you're just eating one meal in a day? Now also, yes, there is also a mechanism where your body can just utilize all of the existing nutrition and all of the existing thing that is going inside the body, and your body can recycle, rejuvenate, detoxify, but there is a limit to it. And is it sustainable? So if you're on a vacation, or if you're partying, or if you're just having the time of your life, or if you go out, do you think you can survive eating one meal a day for the rest of your life? If it is not sustainable, be it life, be it food, be it relationships, you need to think twice before you put yourself in a pattern like that. Can you follow it for the rest of your life? Can you measure your food for the rest of your life? Can you count the calories before every meal that you eat? If you can, great, do it, okay? Are 14-hour fast effective, or is 16 better? Now I have said this time and time again, and everyone who is quite well aware about fasting would always say this one thing, that fasting is not about numbers. There is no magic in 16-8. So a lot of people are hooked upon fasting for 16 hours and they eat only for 8 hours. Now see, understand, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying maybe your body is going to do well with 12 hours and not 16. Maybe your body needs 13. Maybe your body needs 14, maybe your body needs 18 and not 16. So I need you to find out as to why are you hooked upon 16-8. And I am sorry, but there is nothing excessively magical that happens with 16. If it works for your body, it's great. I have done 16 hours of fasting for, I don't know, 1-2 years, I don't know, and I no longer do it. I just do 12, 13, 14, and I listen to my body. Sometimes it would be just 12, but I listen to my body, and 16 hours of fasting is something I've done for 2 years, and it did not serve me. So it's different for everyone, and there is no magic. And I agree, I have also been not well informed in the past, and I have also followed 16-8 pattern and everything, but it doesn't work, and there is like no magic in 16-8. Doing 16 hours of fasting is great, but it's not a miracle, okay? Is it okay to break the fast with a heavy meal? No. So always understand, it's like you go to the gym for the first time in your life, and I ask you to lift 15 kgs of dumbbells with each hand, and you have to do it. That's how your stomach feels when you have a heavy meal, when you are breaking your fast, okay? It's not advisable. Can fasting for long lead to hormonal imbalance? ideal duration to fast. Can fasting for long lead to hormonal imbalance? Absolutely, 100% yes. It has happened with me. So I have one-on-one experience with myself. And ideal duration to fast, there is no such thing as ideal duration. You have to listen to your body. On some days I can do 12 very easily. When it's Ekadashi or Mahashivratri, I can do 24 hours very easily. On some days I can do 16 very easily. So you have to find out what works for you. Hi Deepika, I love your name. Love you too. How to break the fast? Can we eat food directly or we need to break it with fruit? I would suggest go with the latter. Okay, how do you know the difference of physical hunger and hunger out of habit? So physical hunger is something that, for me it's like I can't do anything, I can't move, I can't exercise, I can't walk, I can't think, I can't consult, I can't speak when I'm hungry and I need my food. And because I follow a certain eating pattern, I don't feel hungry throughout the day. I will only feel hungry at my lunchtime, and then I don't need to snack. I will only feel hungry at my dinner time, and that's about it. Anything in between, so let's say I'm watching some MasterChef with America or something like that, or there are so many documentaries and cooking shows on Netflix, and if I'm watching something like that, I'll feel like, oh, I want to eat something. So that's not physical hunger. That's like it's coming from greediness, and it's coming from the fact that I just watched something and I wish to eat it. So physical hunger is something that would just not allow you to do anything. But when I just speak about just hungry like that and just snacking all throughout the day, it's usually a habit, and humans are a creature of habit, and it can take a long time for you to slip back to a regular routine, but it's worth the effort. I am intermittent fasting for 3+ weeks. I am experiencing major change in the bowel movement timing. I am not sure what you mean by this, but I hope it's good. I hope you are experiencing great changes, and I hope it is working for you. Can we drink apple cider vinegar empty stomach first thing in the morning after I fast? I can say yes, but if you are highly acidic, if you are someone who does not have the correct meal to end their fast, it could be a teeny tiny bit of issue. But as such, ideally apple cider vinegar works great, and it is something that I do recommend. It's good. Okay, at what time should I have rice kanji turmeric ghee shot in the morning if doing IF? So you can break your fast with the turmeric ghee, and if you're just having the kanji or if you're just having the water, you can have it with your turmeric ghee. It is going to be okay. You're going to be into a dry fasting because ghee is a form of fat, and fat doesn't spike insulin. Fat buffers insulin. Carb is going to spike insulin. Protein is going to spike insulin. Sugar is going to spike insulin. So fat is actually going to buffer the insulin. That is why we always combine protein and fat and not protein and sugars. Protein and sugar is something that's like one of the most deadliest combination you can eat, which everyone is eating. So having your french fries and burger with Coke, okay, that's something that would start a process known as AGE, which is known as activated glycation end products. It's a lot of science, but it's ideally not recommended, and you should not do it. So people who have a lot of quinoa with mayonnaise and just these sugar laden salad dressings and everything, it doesn't work. Can skinny underweight people practice it? Of course you can practice it, but in a very, very safe manner, and don't go more than 12 hours. Is acidity and fasting related? Never faced gastric issues before starting with IF? Yes. So there is something known as healing crisis. There is something known as detox symptoms. So sometimes your body is going to be very acidic before it gets better. Sometimes your body is going to be excessively constipated before the constipation eases. So yes, it can occur. If it is very, very severe and the fasting does not take care of it, you need to look into it. But if say it persists for like 4, 5, 7 days and it gets better, and every day it keeps on getting better, you should continue with it. Okay. Can diabetic patients do intermittent fasting? You will have to ask your health counselor, because it depends on your blood sugar levels and the fluctuations and the kind of lifestyle you lead and the kind of sleep patterns you have. So with any medical condition, be it diabetic, thyroid and all of these things, I always suggest that make sure that it is customized for you, and you're just not doing it because Ankita says that fasting is great. Okay. Can people who are trying to gain weight do intermittent fasting? Again, intermittent fasting is for everyone, every group, every gender, every age, but there are some exceptions, and you should just customize it according to you. According to me, you can do it if you're taking care of yourself in the feeding window. What is the best way to break the fast? Fat or fruit? Brilliant. Can you talk about working out while fasting? I think fasted workouts is the best thing you can do. if your body allows and if your body gives you that kind of cellular energy to push through, I think there is nothing like fasted workouts. It's magical. Can we directly have meals or any drink before that? I always suggest that instead of putting anything solid, you should have some kind of liquid to break your fast. I suggest that. No query, just here to tell you're awesome. Thank you, reluctant metalhead. Thank you so much. Just gratitude for explaining things so well and helping us love our body more. Thank you, Supraja. I hope you're doing well. While breaking my fast, I'm drinking amla aloe vera juice followed by some fruit after an hour. Is this okay? Yeah, seems pretty okay to me. Yeah. Is intermittent fasting okay for pregnant ladies? You should ask your doctor or your health practitioner once. And would you recommend this to girls with PCOS? Yes, highly. 100%, a minimum of 12 hours is something I would recommend. And then anything more or less depends on the grade of the PCOS you have and the type of PCOS you have. For everyone who doesn't know, there is not just one but 5 types of PCOS. How to do the intermittent fasting in easiest way? Thank you so much, Harshita. Intermittent fasting in the easiest way would be circadian fast. So as soon as the sun sets, you stop eating, and when the sun rises, you start to break your fast and you can start having your meals. Okay, how long does it take to see the healing benefits? I'm not sure what do you mean when you say healing benefits, because healing can look different on everyone. Like, health can look different for everyone, so it's very bio-individual, and I'm not sure about the duration. You should be able to feel a difference in, say, like less than a week, and if the damage has been done a lot in the past, it might take some time. Does intermittent fasting affects my workout? Like, I can't get those calories. No, not really. You should anyway not be eating post sunset, because there is no digestive fire for the body to be able to absorb and digest the food. So I think 12 hours is very safe place for you to be at if you take care of the nutrition in the feeding window. How do we know if it's starvation and not fasting? So see, again, I've discussed this in my last video as well, but with starvation and fasting, just always remember, if you're fasting at some day, आज 6 बजे कर लिया, फिर 8 बजे कर लिया, किसी दिन रात को 12 बजे कर रहे हो, फिर किसी दिन नहीं कर रहे हो, फिर किसी दिन फिर से कर रहे हो. So just yo-yoing between time puts your body off, and it puts the circadian rhythm off. That is why I always say, stop eating when the sun sets and you can start eating when the sun rises. That is how nature intends for us to be. Okay. Is it okay to work out during fasting? Yes, absolutely, you can do it if your body supports you. Why not? Absolutely, go ahead. How to convince our family members that IF is good for health? You have to do it yourself. You have to show them the benefits, and probably they will follow you. That's what I did with my parents. That's how my family shifted to everything organic, whole based, waking up with the sun, sleeping with the moon, and everything, because they see me doing it and they see a difference, and they're just following my footsteps. And now everyone is doing it, including going very easy on wheat and like gluten and dairy products. My family does it with me. Working out after the fast makes me feel drained out because of lack of energy. Yeah, you don't have energy probably because you are very deficient in certain key nutrients, micronutrients, your trace minerals. Maybe you lack electrolytes, which is very, very important. It's not about hydration, it's always about electrolyte balance, and your body is not able to the mitochondria is not able to make ATP with the existing glucose that is in the body. So it comes from the fact that you are not nourished well. So you need to eat well for you to be able to fast well. It's not the other way around. Is intermittent fasting advisable for people with gastric issues and migraine? My patients do it, yes, but it's a very informed decision and it's very bio-individual and personalized for them. If your health practitioner is okay, I think you should do it. Is intermittent fasting better than circadian rhythm fast? No. Circadian rhythm fast ka extension is intermittent fasting. So initially there was circadian rhythm only, and then intermittent fasting is something that has come more from the western end, in that it has been just tweaked according to the way they would like for it to work. So like having the bulletproof coffees and all of these drinks and shakes and smoothies, and just keto MCT oil and something that is not going to break your fast and everything. But circadian, I think, is the safest and it's the best thing. Does intermittent fasting reduce the inflammation in our body? Absolutely, 100%. Yes, that's the best thing you can do. So your homocysteine, your CRP levels, all of these things just take care of itself very brilliantly when patients go, just people fast. Can provide us energy to facilitate our fasting. So there is no one magical superfood that's going to do it for you. So like the question is, what are some foods which can provide us with energy to facilitate our fasting? Okay, so I would suggest every food, everything that you eat, everything that your mother cooks for you, and just of course not having the inflammatory food groups, and something that serves you is going to give you energy. Food is energy, and as long as it's, you know, whole, wholesome, natural, not processed, not coming out from a packet, it's going to be great. How to stay productive during the fasting phase? If you have the energy, if you have real cellular energy, and if your mitochondria are working at their peak levels, you wouldn't be asking this question. And I see that you are lacking energy because you have asked 2 or 3 questions. So I would suggest you need to start feeding yourself correctly with the proper nutrition in the feeding window. Okay, that's going to help you. I tried to do at night but couldn't stop. Midnight craving, no sleep as well. What should be the last meal? So this is a very good question actually. Midnight cravings comes from a lot of things. It usually comes from a poor habit, so something that you have put inside of you, because I've been there. I used to eat at 3 and 4 in the midnight, so I know it's mind over matter, to be very honest, and it's about like 2 to 3 to 4 days of discomfort before it gets better. And no sleep is also something that affects your cravings, because craving is nothing but your body asking for nutrition. So it's going to ask for food in an attempt believing that if it asks for food, you're probably going to give it some kind of nutrition, and it will finally have the nutrition to create energy, and it goes to your mitochondria. So always remember, so you know we always used to study these cycles. You have your glucose, it's converted into glucose 6-phosphate, you have acetyl-CoA, you have pyruvate that goes through you have pyruvate, then you have acetyl-CoA that goes through Krebs cycle, you have NADH, FADH2, and ultimately you have ATP. So this whole process of coming from glucose to ATP also needs certain amount of nutrition. So if you're lacking in vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, your body is never going to be able to produce the ATP. So feed yourself well, eat the correct foods. Okay. Is it okay to continue IF for a long time? I think you can do it for a lifetime if you do it correctly. Like, this is something that I am going to do, to be very honest. I love intermittent fasting. Fulfilling foods, if we stick to 3 meals a day, salads doesn't keep full for long. Advice: why are you eating salads? Like, you know, salad is not a meal. Salad is ideally a side portion. Of course, for some days, and if you have like a good huge nice bowl of salad with say lettuce and beans and some cheese and all of these things, so like goat cheese or sheep cheese and all of these things, of course it helps. But even, you know, like there are people who can just eat 2 meals. So I eat 2 meals in a day, and the energy is always at its peak, because I always take care of the supplements, I always take care of the nutrition, I take care of the food portion that I eat. So I will not just eat like say 50 grams of rice because I'm going to fast and all of these things. So when you eat properly, eat mindfully, eat correct portions, and you will not have to snack. So always remember, if you can't go from one meal to another meal without snacking, there is something a little off. I'm not saying that snacking is bad, but ideally your body can take just 3 meals in a day: 1, 2, 3, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and done. Stop. If you want to have your tea and biscuit and chai and khakra and chana and all of these things, I'm not saying that it's bad, but ideally, as soon as the body is fat adapted, it can do these things for you very smoothly. Okay. I see a lot of questions that are just very similar. Again, PCOS and intermittent fasting, I think it's amazing, but because PCOD is of 5 types, just look into it and see what works for you. Is it okay to have before sunset, or should it along the sunset? Yeah. So I usually have my dinner, like I sometimes have my dinner by 4:30 or 5:30, and I'll be set for another day. So it works for you, whatever works for you. Honestly, listen to your body. Okay, that's like, your body is the best doctor in the room. No one, no dietitian, no nutritionist, no doctor, no one can tell you what works for your body. And that is why, you know, someone asked me this question today, and I think he or she said that what exactly should I eat? Not exactly what I should eat, but I just don't want to, you know, rewire just change the words that he said. But I can't find it. Okay, I can't find it. I'm sorry. So he said that, you know, I want the, okay, I can find it. I can see it in the story. Yeah, what is the ideal meal plan in intermittent fasting and ideal portion size? That's what someone asked. Like, so you understand, I'm very sorry if I sounded rude in the way I replied in this particular question, but there is no such thing as ideal meal plan. Okay, try to understand what I am saying. So ideal meal plan is something that works for you, something that is available for you, something that you can make your way around with, something that is sustainable, something that does not psychologically deprive you. So that would be a great ideal meal plan. I don't even know your name at this point, so how do you expect me or anyone else to give you a meal plan? That's the number one thing that puts me off. And number two, you have written what is the ideal portion size. There is no such thing as ideal portion size. On some days when I'm excessively hungry, I will eat more. On some days when I don't feel like eating, I will skip a meal. On some days when I sleep well, my appetite is great. On some days when I've not slept well, I will need a little more food to get me through the day, because understand, food is energy. Remember, glucose to ATP chemical reaction. So it's like, I don't mean to be rude. I'm very sorry if I sound rude, but all I mean to say is, don't put your faith in people that you see online, including me. Okay, take everything, see what serves you, and if something doesn't serve you, you just can change it and tweak it according to your body and your lifestyle. So when you go through YouTube and you see lose your weight in 7 days with this diet plan, and 1200 calories diet plan, and 500 calories diet plan, you don't understand what you are doing to your body. Your body is not a mathematician. It's not going to understand the number of calories that you are putting in and everything. Your body needs fuel. Your body needs nutrients, and not just macro but micronutrients, and that has to be done according to you. So let's say if you in particular are deficient in vitamin D3 and B12, and you lack methylfolate, and you lack iron, and you lack hemoglobin, and all of these things, how can I possibly give you a plan that would be able to, just take care of the deficiencies of your body? So every time you depend on me or someone else to give you a customized meal plan on messages, it doesn't work. Even if someone is going to do that for you and give you, and a lot of people do it, I'm not against it, it could be right, but just understand, I have had so many people who have just randomly followed keto, randomly followed 1200 calories meal plan, and they have screwed up their metabolism and hormones, and also at the same time they wish for me to fix it in 2 weeks, and I'm so sorry, but I or anyone else can't do it in a natural and safe way. It's going to be exhausting, it's going to take a lot of time, it's going to take a lot of discipline, it's going to take a lot of energy, and if you put your body through something as exhaustive as 1200 calorie diet, I'm not saying it's not going to work. It might work, you might lose weight, but I can't tell you how many people I have who have lost weight, who have lost health, and now we're just trying to balance the hormones, which can sometimes take a lifetime to be fixed. And that is why it puts me off. It's not about me. I can just ignore the question and I can move on with my life. It's about you. It's about what your body will have to go through if I don't speak like that, and if I don't aware you. And this is why I'm just speaking about it before I end this video. You cannot depend on YouTube or social media for your health. Take everything. I have learned everything from social media. I've learned everything from books and from people and from great people who speak here. But I have done my own research. I've been fortunate enough to have my own patients. I've had experience on my body and myself, and that is how I am so certain about few things, and there are a lot of things that I'm not so sure about, so I don't speak about it. So this is what I mean to say when I said that. I am really sorry if it offends anyone in any manner, but it's just that I need you to respect your body. I need you to be careful with the kind of food you eat and the kind of things you put your body through, because I see it every day and it never ends well. Okay, so I just need you to take care, and I'm really sorry if it felt incorrect. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Take care.